Smile.org/learn. Smile Train, lighting up the world with smiles for 25 years.
The Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council present the story of Cynthia and Ed.
My mother was always very active and independent, and she was familiar with her neighborhood. But one day, out of the blue, she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn or just stay at the stop sign. She wasn't even really sure where she was at. She was very concerned. It was very unsettling for her.
It's important for you to talk to someone about it, to bring the family in on it. I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Darkness has fallen here in the Lenovo Center. Lights are out. Time for the keys to the game. Sponsored by Realtors. Buying a home can be a lot, but with the ethical expertise of a realtor, you don't have to do it alone. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Sarah Kustok, Florida first, the 1 seed.
Focus. This is the first round, the first game to open up the NCAA tournament. Put together an offensive clinic, execute your actions, and own the glass. For Norfolk State, they've got to run. They've got to get it going in transition. They've got to get to the line, get downhill, do what they do. It's not going to be easy, but it starts with taking care of the basketball and trying to do what they can to penetrate this very challenging Gators defense as well.
Yeah, they turned it over 17 times in the MEAC title game on Saturday. As we check the starting lineup, sponsored by Cintas. Workdays are better when you partner with Cintas. Keep your team protected, prepared, and looking great. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday. We alluded to Florida's guards. Elijah Martin is a transfer from FAU, 6'2", 210, out of the state of Mississippi. Walter Clayton Jr. is first team All-SEC guy, 17.5 points a game in his second season at Florida. Will Richard is the third head of the three-headed monster, 32 minutes a game, 13.5 points a game. And then in the post, the solidly built Ruben Chinyelu, the sophomore transfer from Washington State, and Alex Condon, the Aussie, is the sophomore center, 6'11", 230. Martin, Clayton, Richard, Condon, Chinyelu for Florida, and Todd Golden in season number 3 looking for his first ever NCAA tournament win. For Norfolk State, out of the Tidewater area, Christian Ings is the point guard, 6'2", grad student from Philadelphia. He gets him 12 points a game. Brian Moore is the real star, 18.5 points a game. He leads them in minutes as well. First team All-MEAC player who gets to the foul line a ton, nearly 180 free throws this year attempted. Jaylani Darden is the third guard out of Norfolk, transfer from Longwood. And then in the front court, Jalen Myers, 6'8", from Huntsville, Alabama, in his first year at Norfolk State from UT Martin. And then Kuwel Mading, the MEAC all-defensive team guy in the middle, and he's going to have to be enormous against the combo of Condon and Chinyelu. 12 years for Robert Jones, the former assistant on that team that beat Mizzou 13 years ago. And at some point during this broadcast, we'll talk about his memories of that day in Omaha that are very vivid for him. But it's Ings, Moore Jr., Darden, Myers, and Mading, the starting five for Norfolk State Spartans. They wear green and gold, and they take on the Florida Gators in the white and blue and orange. Brian O'Connell is our lead official. Vlad Boyard, Tidal, and Tim Smith, the other two. And we are just about ready to go to start our second session here in Raleigh. Even the music is more intense on the night side.
Hey, it starts to get dark and things heat up a little bit here. It's been a great atmosphere, but I think for these players, the understanding of the moment, and you can see it in their faces as they're warming up, taking it all in, knowing this is a win-or-go-home setting, what they want to do here tonight, but also for the Florida Gators, potentially the big picture of this run.
Winner of this game gets either two-time defending champ Connecticut or Porter Moser's Oklahoma Sooners. Florida has taken the floor. Norfolk State is getting set in its huddle. Time for the opening tip, sponsored by AutoZone. What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? because they offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries, and they've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Florida and Norfolk State ready to go. Jumping center for the Gators, Ruben Chinyelu. Kuwel Mading stares at him at center court. A lot of Gator fans here. Norfolk State about 3 hours away, bringing some fans as well. It's tapped back to the left and rescued by Condon, who plays it to Walter Clayton Jr., first team All-SEC guard, the transfer from Rick Pitino's Iona. Two-hand pass outside right, Elijah Martin, the export from FAU, out of a double team. He spins through it and finds Clayton 30 feet away. Clayton fires from the logo, straight ahead, it's a bullseye. What a start for Walter Clayton Jr., and if they win the title, that's going to be on one shining moment.
Well, you got Darden up in his face, cloaking him on that shot, and he still drains it from deep. That's a tough way to get things started for Florida.
With just no governor, Walter Clayton Jr. buries that three. Norfolk State with Darden racing in from the right wing. His floater is good through two defenders. Jaylani Darden, the local product, has the first two for Norfolk State.
And Darden is lanky. He's wiry. He can get to the basket. You saw that from the right wing.
First lob caught by Condon. He brings it down, elevates quickly, and scores. He has the first two for the Gators after the three from Clayton. 5-2 Florida. Look out above and below.
Norfolk State putting on a lot of ball pressure, extending the offense. Florida still able to execute.
Norfolk State basketball on a high weave. They go through Moore, their leading scorer. He heaves it up top for Myers. The forward crossover dribble. Foul line pop around and out over Condon. Rebound Clayton in a hurry. On the gas pedal. Guns a three right wing. It's too short. Oh, he's got hop in his step. He feels like a tournament player already, I think. He's sprinting back. Backtracking down the court. That spring on that jumper, Sarah.
He's moving fast. He's looking aggressive early.
Here's a drive, pull up left elbow for Moore. That's short. Offensive rebound, Norfolk State. They dig it out. Setting up a Myers three from the summit. That's no good. Mading gets his hands on the rebound, kills the dribble, and plays it right back. So a third chance for Norfolk State here on the possession. Condon the defense here on Jalen Myers. He starts his move, roaming to the right lane line. Shot off a window. It's one-handed and no good on the miss for Ings. And here comes Florida, left to right. Into the right corner. Martin jumps for three. That's no good. Rebound for Chinyelu, grappling, and I believe he was out of bounds. Brian O'Connell waves off. Now we have a shot clock issue, I think.
We're seeing a fast pace early on between these two teams. An indicator as well will be how often they can knock down those three-point shots while still getting it inside. So far, Florida's offense has been fairly extended from Norfolk State.
Yeah, Florida has taken 3 threes already. Brian O'Connell, the scorer's table, at 17:38 in the first half. It's 5-2 Florida with the lead. Myers will defend the inbound from Clayton, who surveys right of the goal. We have 2 whistles, which usually means an administrative issue. We have 1 whistle now, which means we can play again. Here's Condon, left elbow, high-low pass, and Chinyelu just had his defender buried. Brian Moore Jr. basically became a conjoined twin of the basket stanchion, and Moore is called for the foul, his first.
6'2" versus 6'10". Chinyalu's going to win off that one. Moore doing anything he can to try and hold him off.
Very difficult guard there. Here is Martin roving to the right short corner. He'll float it for Condon high on the right. Play it for Clayton. He jumps for 3. Catch and shoot. No good left wing. Rebound Condon. Play it back Richard. Right wing triple. Around and out. Chinyelu, a one-arm rebound, and he's fouled by Mading. So look, Norfolk State is going to have a difficult time barricading Chinyelu at 6'10", 260.
Well, and a big part of it, too, is that everyone's extended on the perimeter, so it's allowed Chinyelu to operate looking for those offensive rebounds.
Florida, great offensive rebounding team. Here's a probing dribble by Richard. Whip it out for Martin. He runs right into a Norfolk State defender. His runner above the foul line, no good. Rebound Chinyelu. Second chance is there. It crawls off the front of the rim and through for Ruben Chinyelu, and it's 7-2. Florida, 3 minutes in.
Off that possession, the penetration by Florida forced Mading to come and help, and that left Chinyelu open on the inside.
And that is bad news as they run the weave through Moore to Darden high on the right side. He scoops a dribble left of the lane. His shot is boomerang back at him by Chinyelu, who stares him down on the floor. Clayton drops it off right wing. Martin shoves it back for Clayton. He pierces the lane, leaves it for Condon, off to Chinyalu, and a left-handed thunder strike. A slam makes it 9-2. Here is Ings working the dribble, wide right of the lane, floater over Chinyalu, dances off the rim. Chinyalu engulfs another rebound, just swallows it for dinner. Push ahead for Martin left of the circle. He'll lob for Condon in the post, trying to pass out of it on the reversal. Right side three in the air, Richard no dice. Offensive rebound, Condon taps it to himself. They'll replay it to him down low. Go across the way for Chinyalu, and it's out of bounds. It will go to Norfolk State. We're exactly 4 minutes in, and the Gators are doing exactly what they do.
Turnover, but Alex Condon looking for the quick behind-the-back pass to Chinyalu. Interior passing is something you want to see more of, and not just settling for three-point shots.
Timeout on the court, sponsored by Rocket. Own the dream. Florida 9, Norfolk State 2, 4 minutes in. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the men's basketball tournament.
Most people think child abuse is a bad parent problem.
Actually, the root causes may be different than you think.
Let us explain. Affordable housing for everyone.
That prevents child abuse. And access to healthcare in every community.
Prevents child abuse too. High quality, affordable childcare.
Paid family leave.
School breakfast and lunch programs.
All of this prevents child abuse.
It's all about keeping families out of crisis in the first place.
At least 1 in 7 children in the United States have experienced abuse or neglect in the past year. Prevent Child Abuse America promotes policies, programs, and resources informed by science that help communities, parents, and kids thrive.
Because when we keep families out of crisis,
we prevent child abuse
from ever happening.
Go to preventchildabuse.org to learn more.
That's preventchildabuse.org.
Let's solve child abuse before it ever happens.
Furnished by Prevent Child Abuse America.
Hello, I'm Jose Hernandez, and I have been using a wheelchair since my accident in 1995.
My name is Andrea Dalzell, and I've been using a wheelchair since I was 5 years old.
I guess if I had one message for the general public, it would be that I appreciate your help. But please, ask first.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that I've actually got everything under control.
I think people get nervous. They don't know how to act, so they pretend I'm not there.
What probably bothers me the most is when waiters talk to my companion and not directly to me.
I think everyone with a disability can relate to that parking spot problem.
We know you're just parking in that disabled spot for a second, but please, don't. We're just looking for the same respect and consideration as everyone else.
United Spinal Association is dedicated to enhancing the quality of life of people living with spinal cord injuries and disorders. Download our disability etiquette booklet at unitedspinal.org.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, your home for the national championships. (9-2) Florida, 4 minutes in. Let's check each team's tournament resume, sponsored by Monster.com. Monster.com helps you slam dunk the job search and make your next career move. Monster.com provides great coaching and millions of job openings. Get off the bench, go to Monster.com today. Both teams conference tournament winners, Norfolk State and the MEAC. Florida in the SEC, as Thomas Houck has checked into the ball game for the Florida Gators. Micah Handlogg's in as well, the big guy who had that gruesome leg injury last year. Here is Myers trying to push his way down the backdoor against Houck, who just barricaded him, and Myers went out of bounds over the end line. Florida basketball.
Good job by Houck cutting off that driving lane. You will continue to hear this from us. Norfolk State trying to get downhill, and they will do everything they can to penetrate this Florida defense. That's a great defensive possession here coming out of the timeout.
Norfolk State some bracket pressure in the backcourt as Clayton walks it to the March Madness logo. Two hands a pass for Denzel Aberdeen, who's turned up the offense recently. Zone here for Norfolk State. Houck pushes right corner. Aberdeen tries the backdoor. Bounce feet around the arc. It goes Clayton holding the ball over his head. He fires from three, knocks it down, and got fouled. Goodness gracious. He just reached up to heave it, and it was dead central, all net, 12-2, and a 4-point try.
Walter Clayton Jr. is just that. Shot 38% from three throughout the course of the season, but he's got a quick trigger, and he's looked aggressive early on to take those 3-point shots.
We were talking during the break. He feels like he's never going to lose again. That's the second foul on Moore, by the way. Free throw is good. So it's a 4-point play, and it's 2 personal fouls on Norfolk State's best offensive player. So he is out. Terrence Jones comes in, a fourth-year player at Norfolk State who had a season-ending injury last year. Ings staring into the eyes of Denzel Aberdeen. He waves off the screen. Now he uses it to the right. They'll switch. And here is Jones diving in left lane line. Toss middle of the lane. Shot up, no good. Around and out for Bladen, and a foul called. Bladen ends up on the deck on a third try for Norfolk State. So the grad student transfer from Ryder will get 2 free throws.
Bladen's active and has live legs. That's what he did off of that play. And continuing to move without the basketball. What Norfolk State has done nicely is off of drives, engaging the bigs and then dropping off those passes to some of their front court players.
Free throw too strong for the head-banded Bladen. Robinhood Gold gets you a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions. The new gold standard is here. Sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Bladen's second try is all net. 1 for 2 for Tyrell Bladen for Norfolk State. It's a 10-point game. Norfolk State made its first shot and has missed 7 in a row since then. Clayton in a double team. Dumps it off Aberdeen across the way, and he breaches the front court right to Clayton at an angle right. He'll lob it for Houck, a tough jumping catch, squaring up right elbow against his defender Fields. Now Clayton top of the key 3, and he sinks it again. Clayton for 3. He's already bidding to be the tournament MVP, and it's 16-3 Florida.
Off the dribble, and that's where he's so tough. It's not just catch and shoot plays.
Drive for Ings and a right-hand scoop is there for 2 for Norfolk State.
Norfolk State has been bringing full court pressure. A lot of 1-2-2. They've dropped back to zone some, and they've also dropped back and gotten back into a man coverage.
Clayton bluffed a 3, stepped inside a little bit and got fouled again on a 3-point play. This time, Jaylani Darden standing over his seated body, and 3 free throws again for Clayton.
And that's the tough part. So one was the 4-point play. This time doesn't get the shot off, but you still send him to the line for 3 shots. Clayton has come out. He's the key to this offense. Very highly powered for Florida, and how he's been able to impose his will has been impressive early on.
First free throw of 3 is good. 17-5 Florida. Later on, we'll select the smart coaching move of the day, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Second one is good for Clayton Jr., 18-5 Florida. He was a quarterback and wide receiver in high school. Would you believe it with his build? Of course you would. Very barrel-chested, kind of low center of gravity. 3 for 3 from the line there.
With how quickly and powerfully he's been moving, I believe that he could throw it and catch it himself.
Like Bugs Bunny?
To himself.
Norfolk State basketball. In the middle of the court, Aberdeen just takes it away from Ings. Throw it ahead for Clayton, tiptoeing into a lob. Houck goes high, gets crowded out, still scores, and a foul. He got sideswiped and somehow turned it into a 3-point chance. Wow, what body control.
And strength. Let's start with Clayton gliding up the left side of the floor on the wing. His eyes the entire time, though, were on Houck, coming in that right side, filling the lane, getting to the block, getting bumped, and still getting the finish.
Houck sends it up and scores. Free throw good. 3-point play, 22-5 Florida. We were talking to him yesterday about being a big Tim Tebow fan. Growing up in Pennsylvania, he had a Gator lunchbox. He's literally been dreaming of this moment his entire life.
Everywhere where I come from, love Penn State, love Pittsburgh. He said, I think I like the Gator colors.
And he made the right choice at the right time right now as Fields tries the baseline, had it taken away by Houck. This is what Mount St. Mary's didn't do against Duke, is turned it over, and they hung around some as Houck has it knocked out of his hand, out of bounds, off the hand of Darden for Norfolk State. At 13-13 in the first, 22-5 Florida. 3 turnovers early for Norfolk State. The Gators have just 1. Urban Klaujar checks into the ball game. He'll two-hand a pass through Clayton. Now Hauk from Aberdeen. Klaujar in the corner, zings it down low. Handlog in his 7-footer, rises and scores on the Norfolk State welcome mat that's been very unwelcome. 24-5.
Handlogged in, net and ripped that pass. It went right through the hands of a Norfolk State player.
Now Bladen picks up a loose ball on a foul on the Ings drive. So the foul against the Gators is number 2. It goes against Aberdeen, his first. This Florida team has like 3 of each piece that you want for an NCAA tournament run.
And they can match up with you any way you want to. You want to play fast, you want to play in the half court, you want to be big, you want to play on the perimeter, whatever the orientation is, they're able to come with a lot of players.
Step back 3, right wing, no good for Jones. Bladen tips the rebound to himself, cycles through the lane and gets fouled. Kind of a whirling dervish. Bladen, though, playing with good energy, and he'll go to the free throw line. He spent 5 years at Rider. His first college basketball season was 2019 with the Bronx out in New Jersey. And Bladen will go to the free throw line. He is a beanstalk, isn't he?
A beanstalk, but I don't know what the beanstalk is. That thick too? And
yeah,
strong?
It can be.
Well, because he's thick and strong too. I think the beanstalk being wiry.
Well, he's wearing green, so and free throw good, 24-6. The Jeep Celebration event is your chance to start a brand new adventure. Hurry in for an exceptional offer on Jeeps Go Anywhere, Do Anything SUVs, and let the ride of a lifetime begin. Second one, a rainbow is up and good. 2 for 2 for Bladen. And Florida will have the ball up by 17.
I only know Jack.
Oh, right. And the Magic Beans. Florida hounded in the backcourt. It is Aberdeen. Got 1 second to cross, and they do. He fires it for Richard high on the left side in front of Robert Jones, the Norfolk State head coach. Cycle it around the arc on the reversal for Elijah Martin. He's met there. Now to the corner. Klaujar hoists a 3. It's a rounded out. Offensive rebound. Hauk bowls it back for Klaujar. Skip past Aberdeen, piercing the lane. Righty scoop is feathery and good. Just kind of slung it in there. 26-7, Florida the lead.
What Hauk and Chinyalu have done a good job, though, with the zone that Norfolk State continues to play is still setting screens on inside players to create driving lanes.
And Florida's gotten basically whatever it wants. Ings had it back tap, taken by Martin. He'll throw it into the backcourt. He hadn't established in the front court. Aberdeen trudging down the lane. His shot no good. Chinyalu wrestles it away, still ripping it away. It's like trying to rope a big, now O'Connell has to step in between. Chinyalu puts his hands in the air, and he walks out of the trouble before he ends up,
The vet Elijah Martin pulls him out of the trouble and says, we don't have time for this. Let's keep it moving, big guy.
I mean, Chinyalu is just so tough to deal with for the SEC, let alone a 16 seed. So, timeout on the court. The score, Florida 26, Norfolk State 7, 11:40 to go first half. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doop doop, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Free at every AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Lowe's knows what makes SpringFest savings even better are member-only doorbuster deals. Right now, rewards members can save $40 on an Allen & Roth Chesler Gold faucet. Was $99, now $59. Plus, save $110 on a Cobalt 40-volt battery trimmer and blower combo kit. Was $279, now $169. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 3/24 while supplies last. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Subject to change.
Your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. With Indeed Sponsored Jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for relevant candidates so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, with Indeed Sponsored Jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, and you only pay for results. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
You know what I love about spring? It's the season of change, and that means it's time for a closet refresh. Enter Kohl's. With the extra 15% off they have going on, I saved on the latest styles for my entire family, like a cute dress for myself, linen shorts for my husband, and spring jackets for my kids. Just add sunshine and we're set. All thanks to Kohl's. Select styles, some exclusions apply. 15% offer ends March 23rd. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
26-7, Florida with the lead here at our Grainger courtside seats in Raleigh. Gain a winning edge for your business with Grainger. Get fast delivery of individual grade supplies to help keep your operations going when you call 1-800-GRAINGER or click Grainger.com. Florida 26, Norfolk State 7, 11:40 to go. Half number one. The Gators are still huddling here, and a Florida team in its 25th NCAA tournament looking to make a run here under Todd Golden. They got bounced last year 102-100 by Colorado, but so far in this game, Florida has been overwhelming, wouldn't you say, Sarah?
Overwhelming, and I think in many ways that's what they've been all season in the balance that they present. The size, the perimeter play, inside, outside, all of it, and they also get after you defensively. And I think for this Norfolk State team, what they've done defensively against the Gators has shown them different looks. They played a lot of zone early on in this first half, but it's going to be interesting to see how Florida continues to come at this disruptive defense that Norfolk State has been and how they really showcase so much of their skills and so much of their versatility.
I believe we have offsetting technical fouls on that rebounding action. Chinyelu and Jones. Jones ended up on the ground. Chinyelu bumped Jones as he got back up. So they'll offset and Norfolk State will have the ball is the end result there. So 2 fouls on Chinyelu, though. That is important news for Florida. They do have some depth on that bench in the forecourt. Fields into the front court left, trying to wheel and deal against Chinyelu. Bouncing for Bladen, who hands to Jones in the left short corner. Back to Bladen, rising mid lane, and he scores. He's a tough kid. Tyrell Bladen for 2 more, and he's not worried about Florida.
No, and he's active in how he continues to move and make himself available for his teammates with that size and with his good frame.
11:08 to go first half. 26-9, Florida with the lead. Martin slings it, high post right. Condon steps through. Flip it for Klaujar. Zip it quickly for Martin. Backdoor cut for Condon. Whip it left. Aberdeen springs for 3 and swirls it down. That was mesmerizing passing by the Gators, who lead by 20.
Hit every point of the floor and finish with Condon at the right block, getting it all the way to the opposite wing for the clear look.
Klaujar looked like he had a shoulder holster, just whipping it with the right hand around the arc. Here's a 3 set shot. Fields right wing, no good. Rebound for Aberdeen, weak side for Florida. Hit ahead, Martin racing into the front court, lost the dribble, got it back. Sing it for Aberdeen, who goes crossover on the dribble. Skip it left, Martin for 3. Front iron, no dice, and the rebound for Norfolk State. And Terrence Jones, a grad student from Trenton, trotting into the front court. He breaks it left, broke Martin's ankle, slings it up with the left hand, scores. He's going to remember that for a while. Terrence Jones for 2. That was pretty.
And good to see him. He's coming off back-to-back scoreless games. That's a big-time crossover that created space for him to go left.
Now the Gators survey the zone, ducking in. Martin rising low right. He scores, and a foul. Completely undeterred. There was nobody else on the highway, and he'll go to the free throw line up 31-11. Later on, we'll select the play of the day, sponsored by Old Spice. Stinking places beyond your pits?
No, sir.
Old Spice has you covered with total body deodorant. 24/7 freshness from pits to toes with daily use.
It's the last time you're going to look at me every time you read that, my friend.
I just wanted one answer. If I was on Fields, free throw is good for Martin. I've been satiated for the rest of the night. Thank you. 32-11, Florida with the advantage over Norfolk State. 9:49 to go first half, and a 116 matchup in the West. High on the left side, here's Myers turning to face, dribbling with the right hand. He'll hand it off for Jones, trying to circle down the lane. Instead, of foul line jump is no good, and Aberdeen had it go off of his patella out of bounds to Norfolk State. Todd Golden looking down at the ground as if there are answers there on something like that. That's just a possession you would want in a game that's closer. You know that? Yeah.
And that's what it's all about, especially for a team like Florida, a number 1 seed. Yes, it's about this moment, but it's about many more in the consistency of habits.
They're up 21. Inbound Norfolk State, baseline left. They'll parachute it all the way back out, high on the left side. Here is Ings on the dribble, driving handlock and gets down the lane. His shot is challenged and missed, an air ball. Condon the defense. He had to duck on the pass parallel to him. Left side, Klaujar trying to tuck it into the post. He will do that to Handlogden, who spins it right. Aberdeen probing with the left foot. Floated out for Handlogden. Back to Aberdeen. Top of the key, Condon fakes a high-low pass. Handoff for Klaujar. He bounces back for Condon, and that ball is kicked. And we're going to have 20 put on the shot clock again on the kick. Florida is as quick of a passing team in the country as you're going to see.
And a lot of it comes from the fact that every time you see a player catch from Florida, they're looking for where their next pass can be.
Condon steps through, didn't give the handoff for Klaujar. Up top, Handlogden. The big tree trunk into the right corner. That three is down. It is Elijah Martin wide open, baseline right. 35-11, Florida with the lead, 8:49 in the first. Ings stalking the perimeter, lobs it up top through Myers. High on the right side, a catch for Darden. Norfolk State still playing without its leading scorer with 2 fouls, more on the bench. McMahon pushing to the foul line, kills the dribble, closed off by Klauser, a great defender. Myers tries to score on him, goes glass, no dice, and the follow is up and good, and a foul for Myers on the low right side. Jalen Myers fighting hard for that rebound to make it 35-13.
Let's start with an excellent screen by Darden at the elbow that allowed Myers to turn the corner and come right up the gut of the lane. Can't get the initial shot to go through, but stays with the play and picks up the foul.
Jalen Myers, he spent 2 years with UT Martin. He was at Texas A&M Corpus Christi as well. As the free throw is good for him, a well-traveled young man. It's 35-14 Florida over Norfolk State, 8:18 in the first. Elijah Martin just casing the perimeter, 2 hands it for Richard. He'll spring for 3, right wing. It was on target, but short. Rebound for Condon. He tracks it down. Another offensive rebound. Set up another 3, left side. Martin buries it. Again, Elijah Martin's hit 2 in close range, 38-14. Too many shooters. This team is scary when they are all cylinders.
And they continue to pass up solid looks to get the best look possible on each possession. That's what makes their offense so special.
Right of the circle, 3 in the air. It dangles off the rim for Norfolk State. That was Meding with the miss, and here comes Florida. Zip it into the corner, drive and kick left of the circle. Richard surveying to zing it down low on the left side. Tough catch, power dribble, Handlogden elevates and scores. Micah Handlogden in his return from multiple surgeries last year after an SEC tournament injury. There was a titanium rod involved. He's been through the ringer, and he's back.
Will Richard set a laser on that pass.
You can hear those passes, you know? They just zip through the air. Here's Ings into the left side corner. That 3 for McMahon is too strong from the wing. Hit ahead, Richard, 47-footer, cross lane feed. Martin dips in, right hand score. Timeout, Norfolk State. The ball did not hit the ground from the other foul line to the right side goal, and the Gators are smoking hot.
Quick advancement of the basketball. Everyone fills lanes and is running. Give a ton of credit to Elijah Martin, who has been doing it from everywhere on the floor to help extend this lead.
And with that timeout on the court, the score 42-14, Florida over Norfolk State. 6:52 first half. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor. here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Welcome to Staples.
I hear Staples prints it all for any business.
You bet, and we'll beat any print quote.
So if I had a pizza place...
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
A landscaping business?
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your life, your goals, your legacy. With a dedicated Fidelity advisor, it's all part of a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE, SIPC.
Monster.com helps you slam dunk the job search and make your next career move. With great coaching and millions of job openings, Monster.com empowers you to score your next position and win the job hunt. Get off the bench and go to Monster.com today.
You can listen to Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament for free on the Varsity Network app. Listen to every game live or on demand. Download the Varsity Network app now and search NCAA Championships. The Florida Gators are 8th in the country in offensive rebound percentage. They have 8 already. They've missed 10 times today. Florida has 8 offensive rebounds. Norfolk State has 2 defensive rebounds. Yikes.
Florida State or Florida, they've been doing an excellent job, which is how we keep talking about moving the basketball and creating those looks. And a lot of that then opens themselves up to getting good possessions and good positioning around the glass to come up with those extra looks.
What does that sound? It's like somebody poked the Pillsbury Doughboy. We have been around each other too much today. Here is Bladen wheeling top of the circle for Norfolk State. On a handoff, he gets it away for Darden. Low on the right side, a battle for it. Bladen tried to claw at it. It's out of bounds off of Florida. 10 to shoot for Norfolk State in the green and gold. And we, with that, will step aside. You got a sound for that, too? Beep, beep, beep. Timeout on the court. The score, Florida 42, Norfolk State 14. 6:32 first half. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture with daily use.
And that is why many of the greatest feats of fandom require you to be on your feet. Any questions?
Professor, NCAA men's basketball is back. Are we ready?
You prepared to show up, show out, give it 110 from tip to the final buzzer? Oh, you're ready. March Madness. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MBB tickets.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. With Indeed Sponsored Jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for relevant candidates so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, with Indeed Sponsored Jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, and you only pay for results. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
It's time for the Coles fact of the game. Let's take you back to 2012 in Omaha, Nebraska. The Norfolk State Spartans had never been to the NCAA tournament, and they take down Mizzou 86-84. Celebration was on. Robert Jones, assistant coach, told us, he was the assistant at the time, now the head coach, he told us he picked up the athletic director. I mean, there was a big celebration, but then they get 2 days later, and they ran into the Florida Gators. That was Bradley Beal, Kenny Boynton, Florida, an 84-50 win. They knocked Norfolk State out, and here they are meeting again after the greatest memory you could possibly dream up for a school. They run into that Florida buzzsaw again. That's the fact of the game, sponsored by Kohl's. Make this spring a stylish one with on-trend looks for every occasion when you shop at Kohl's and Kohl's.com, where families come first. 3 in the right corner is good for Norfolk State, and Ings buries it to make it 42-17. Florida basketball, Clayton triggers to answer and splashes it down. That was absolutely right in the middle of the goal again, 45-17.
Clayton on the right wing, it's not even a ball screen, is not even off the catch. He just can cover so much ground with the quickness of his dribble to get off that shot.
He has 16 in the first half, Walter Clayton Jr. Low on the right, Darden swoops in with the left hand and scores. He's got 4 for Norfolk State. And the Spartans have 19. They trail by 26.
Backdoor cut from the wing.
Hauk catches outside right on the reversal. Clayton. Hauk shows screen. Clayton guns it from long range. Hits only the front iron. And the rebound down. Hit ahead by Darden. And we have a whistle stopping play as a Norfolk State player, Brian Moore Jr., hit the deck and hard on the far sideline. It's a foul against Elijah Martin. His first for Florida, the 6th against the team, 7 against Norfolk State at 5:37 in the first. Inbound to Moore, who has been just stalemated in the first half with 2 personal fouls. He is scoreless in the game. He's only taken 1 shot, their leading scorer. Moore on the hunt, top of the key, wraparound pass for Bladen, and it's taken away by Condon. Hit ahead for Richard. He runs it down, drops it for a trailing Hauk, who stuffs it down with a hammer with 2 hands. Great awareness by Richard to leave it behind, and Hauk the finish, 47-19. Florida by 28. Richard mirroring Moore. He's got the length on him. Moore at the right hash mark. Tiptoes with the dribble. He finds Jones outside right. Bounce feed, top of the circle. Bladen hounded by Condon way out there. Clayton trailing. Here's a hanger mid-lane by Darden, no good. Rebound Florida. 5 white jerseys coming the other way. Clayton hooks it down low. Condon. Catch fire with the right, no. Tap by Hauk, and it does sit down for him off the back iron and through. Another winning play for Hauk. It's Florida by 30.
The little things, and most of it is because of his running and his movement. He's always around the activity of the basketball.
Thomas Hauk, a Gator for life. Takeaway, pickpocket by Clayton, running down the right side. Goes behind the back with a pass to Richard, filling the lane. He's fouled on the way up. That was just smooth as syrup for Clayton. A slow moving behind the back pass.
It was smooth, but Clayton and Richard are laughing at one another because Richard was saying, you should have tossed that up for me. I could have thrown that down. You said this team was an alley-oop waiting to happen, and I think that was a possession 2-on-1 break that Richard may have liked that opportunity.
Yeah, he wanted 2 if by air, not 2 if by land that time. He'll go to the free throw line instead. Will Richard looking for his first point of this tournament. The free throw is up and true. March Madness is coming to a court near you. Experience it live as the nation's best college basketball teams compete for a chance to cut down the nets. Secure your seats today at ncaa.com/MBB tickets. Richard hits the first free throw, 50-19 Florida. There's still 4:17 to go in half number 1. Second foul shot is good as well. The Gators against Alabama set an SEC tournament record in points last Saturday night, and they are going to threaten some records here today maybe. Here is Ings, a slow, languid, between the legs dribble. He pitches it to the right side. That three in the air, no good for Fields, and a rebound elbows out for Richard, who bowls it for Clayton, middle of the floor. Drop it off Richard, right of the circle tray. No good right, and the rebound down for Darden. I mean, this is a three-point contest right now for the Gators. Here's a drive for Darden down the lane. Lefty scoop is good, wide right of the lane. And 51-21 your score. Norfolk State within 30. The Gators moving slowly for the first time in a long while. Just kind of a raft gliding down the Everglades for the moment. Now zip it up top. Houck. They start their move. Drop it for Clayton. Right wing. Jump a feed. Aberdeen. A foot fake. He slices toward the paint. He leaves for Houck. Left of the circle. Feet organized. Rifles a three. No good. And a rebound foul. Chinyelu was blocked off. And we have a whistle down low on the rebounding action that will lead us to a timeout. Foul was on Bladen. That's his second for Norfolk State. The Gators will have it when we come back with a 1-1. Timeout on the court. The score, Florida 51, Norfolk State 21, 3:15 to go first half. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out?
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Buying a home used to feel like a complete headache. Listings here, pre-approval there, financing somewhere else. Now, Rocket is giving every home one address. Rocket.com. A single seamless homeownership platform to help you find, buy, sell, finance, and refinance your home. Everything you need, all under one roof. Visit Rocket.com, the new home for all things homeownership. Rocket. Own the dream.
The Jeep Celebration event is your chance to start a brand new adventure with great deals on our legendary Go Anywhere, Do Anything SUVs, like the Grand Cherokee 4xE, our most capable Grand Cherokee ever, the Jeep Wrangler 4xE, our most capable Wrangler ever, or the Jeep Compass, our most affordable SUV. Hurry in for an exceptional offer during the Jeep Celebration event and let the adventure of a lifetime begin. Jeep is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Time now for a tournament bracket update, sponsored by Green Gobbler. Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. It's bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and it works. Green Gobbler, let the gobbler get it. Here in Raleigh, Duke has won. They beat Mount St. Mary's in our second game. Baylor a winner 75-72 over Mississippi State in our first game, so they will match up. And then our finale tonight will be a dandy. UConn, the two-time defending champs, they will take on the Oklahoma Sooners. Chinyelu to the free throw line for Florida. It's a 1-1. He takes a deep breath. Sophomore out of Nigeria. Bends the knees. Pushes the shot up with the right and scores 52-21. Sarah Kustok, Jason Benetti, our entire crew. Thanks for making us a part of your evening tonight and throughout the day on Westwood One. Hopefully you're using the new Westwood One Sports app. Very easy to use, family friendly. Second foul shot, line drive is good. 53-21, Florida with no blemishes so far in this game.
12 assists. They average about 16 on the season, and they also have created 13 points off of turnovers. So it's the offensive side, it's the defensive side. Excellent balance.
Jones trying to swoop from the left side, gets it to Meding. His shot blocked by Clayton. He reached over the top and hammered it away. Florida the other way. Little back tap away from Richard. Taken by Darden. He drives the left side. Shot off the window is good, and a foul. What's good for the Spartans is good for the Gators. How about that? A takeaway off the turnover, and Norfolk State scores.
First points off turnovers for Norfolk State, and Darden just bottles up Richard there on the left side of the floor and does a great job to be quick with his hands and then quick on the push.
Foul is the first against Clayton. And to the free throw line, Jaylani Darden. His free throw with the left hand is good. Darden's had a nice day so far. He now has 9 of the 24 for Norfolk State. Out of Norfolk, Virginia, and the MEAC. There's Florida breaching the front court. Denzel Aberdeen with a right-handed dribble, a standing dribble, halfway through the shot clock. He surveys the defense of Darden. Gets the screen from Chinyelu. He rolls, doesn't get the ball. Now a high-low from Hauk to Chinyelu. Catch with 2 hands. He'll elevate and can't score. Good defense by the all-MEAC defensive performer Meding. Sing a pass low on the right side, and a 2 for Fields. He just backdoored through in the secondary break for 2.
Norfolk State is excellent when they can get it going in transition, but the problem is they haven't been able to get stops.
Clayton leans into a dribble, has it taken away. Picked again. Ings down the middle of the lane. He puts it up and scores with the right. And the folks from Norfolk behind us are standing and howling. It's a 25-point game, and it's an offensive foul on Richard, trying to ward off his defender, Ings.
4 straight stops for Norfolk State, which has allowed them to get out and run a little bit more. It becomes so much a part of their juice, their energy. You can see it in their movements. The bench now getting active, cheering for one another, adding a little bit of life here as they're trying to close out this first half on a 7-0 run in the last minute.
Rapid fire 7-0 run. Norfolk State has it. Field sings it low on the left. That reverse is up and good. Another backdoor cut. This time it is Ings the finish. 9-0 run for the Spartans. 53-30, Gators with the lead. The chant of defense swells. Martin plays it up top. High-low Hauk. Chinyelu backing in. They pulled the chair from him. He staggered and missed with the right hand. Rebound Norfolk State. Right to left. Darden pushes right side for Fields, wide right of the lane. And he'll scoop it back out. Here's Jones, Hawking with the ball, driving backside, taken away by Chinyelu. Aberdeen hit ahead, swooping in left side. Martin puts it on the 10, can't score. Hauk went up for it, couldn't get his mitts on it. Lead feet ahead, Field sweeping in against Chinyelu. Shot a line drive is up and in. Norfolk State an 11-0 run. It's the Gators 53-32. 42 seconds left, half number 1. Clayton trying to extract himself from the tight defense of Jones. Hits Hauk, top of the key 3. Missed the silencer. Rebound Norfolk State under 30 seconds to go, half number 1. They can have the final possession. What a run here for the Spartans. Near takeaway. Jones rescues short corner. Out to Meding. Right of the circle. 3 line drive. No good. And the rebound to the sideline. It is out of bounds. Off of Norfolk State. Florida will have it. But what a surge for the Spartans. And their head coach, Robert Jones, loves it on the sideline.
It's all started with activity on the defensive end. Getting in passing lanes, a little bit more ball pressure, and there's been some misses by Florida that have been right at the cup, right around the basket they would typically make that have just rolled out.
They're stuck on 53. The Gators 0 for their last 6 from the floor. They haven't scored in more than 3 minutes. As they'll roll it for Clayton, who will touch up now, 14 seconds and counting. Clayton, a slow wander into the front court. He's defended by Ings on his right hip. They'll double to force him to give it up. Try to tuck in an entry, taken away by Jones. Looking up the court, he throws it off Clayton, taken by Condon at zeros, and that will do it. Hand-logged and fired from midcourt, but did not get it off in time. Air ball anyway. But Norfolk State carries the whole pendulum into the locker room on an 11-0 run in the last 2:45.
That's exactly what you want to see. It may be a 16 seed against a 1 seed that had a significant lead, but they have not given up. And a part of that comes from the fact that they were making extra effort plays. Florida let their foot off the gas just a little bit there, closing things out.
How about that? Come back for Norfolk State. Halftime score, Florida 53, Norfolk State 32. When we return, we'll head back to our Straight Talk Wireless studios for the halftime report. Need more data so you can stream your Jam Mix on loop? Switch to Straight Talk and get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Straight Talk available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. The Westwood One NCAA Radio Network. This is the men's basketball tournament.
When the forgotten poor are suffering and in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy Ships, the largest floating civilian hospital in the world, with volunteer medical staff and crew who donate their time to save lives. Heroes of mercy, like these.
Every human being has the right to be treated as human, to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the look in that patient's eyes or the smiles that you get when lives has been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
We bring hope and healing to one person, but that person belongs to a family, and that family belongs to a community.
Together, these heroes of mercy and friends like you bring hope and healing to those who desperately need it.
Thank you. Thank you.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org today.
After my father was on a ventilator for 20 days due to COVID, he had so many medications. It really was daunting.
According to the National Institutes of Health, 30% of hospital admissions in older adults are drug-related, like taking meds at the wrong time. Hero simplifies medication management.
I'm so thankful that something like this exists. It holds up to 10 different medications. It's all on an app, and you can share that app with a caregiver. So I can make sure that he got his meds. Is he missing a dose of his meds?
Hero Health's smart pill dispenser alerts and delivers pills with the push of a button.
It is really so easy to use and a literal lifesaver.
Try Hero Health risk-free for 30 days. Get free contactless delivery. Call 800-420-7550. 800-420-7550. That's 800-420-7550. Hero. Medication managed.
Well, little to no drama for the 1 seeds in the opening round of this year's tournament. Florida, the 1 seed in the West, is up on Norfolk State at halftime, 53-32 in Raleigh. Welcome back to the Straight Talk Wireless Studios here in Los Angeles. I'm Brad Heller. Need more data so you can stream your Jam Mix on loop? Switch to Straight Talk and get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Straight Talk available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. So the final game of the day at the Lenovo Center, that's going to be the 8-9 matchup in the West region, likely to see Florida on Sunday, two-time defending champ UConn and Oklahoma. The Sooners, one of the record 14 teams in from the SEC, that despite a 6-12 record in conference. Meanwhile, the Huskies were ranked as high as number 2. That was back in November before they went 0-3 at the Maui Invitational, and it's been up and down ever since for Dan Hurley's team, and he talked about that and more with our Jason Benetti.
Coach, what does it mean to be back here for you right now?
I mean, obviously a huge part, excitement, huge part relief too. I mean, just the year at times is, it's been a tumultuous season. We've had to battle really, really hard. I mean, getting knocked on our butts in Maui and coming into the season off back-to-back championships and incredibly high expectations. To start the year like that, put yourself behind the 8 ball, and have to fight, battle as hard as this team has had to fight and battle just to get to this point where we're included in like the best sporting event that our country has on a yearly basis, just to be in the tournament and have as good a chance as anyone else to advance, make noise, and have an exciting March.
For those people, which is basically everybody in the listening audience who's never participated in this, as somebody invested, what does it feel like in one of these games?
I mean, it just depends on the circumstances. I mean, and we've experienced it all, really. When your team's not playing well and affected by the pressure or the opponent, it could get surreal, and the game could go by very quickly. When you're playing on an automated system of excellent basketball like we have the last couple of years, it's just been a joyride. So I've experienced it all in this tournament, and that's why I kind of go into it with an open mind.
Who is most important for you in this game specifically?
I'd probably say Hassan Diarra, and just his ability, to guard fears. You could say that with all of our perimeter people, because the worst thing we've done this year is guard the ball. And they have a bunch of attackers off the dribble with Oklahoma, but in particular, fears Hassan Diarra, being able to guard him, keep him out of the paint as much as possible, try to frustrate him and turn him into a contested jump shooter is the plan.
Alex Caravan has seen a lot of basketball. What do you need from him in this tournament?
He's got to play great. I mean, if he doesn't play great, we're not going to have a very good tournament. And this is a guy that's, obviously he's experienced the best that you could do in this sport. He's back-to-back champion, and he's got to get off to a fast start in the game, and that the confidence has got to run through the team when they see that the back-to-back and team leader is hooping. Then now I think the rest of the team will be energized by that.
Dan Hurley, thank you so much.
Let's get it.
Halftime score in Raleigh, Florida leads Norfolk State 53-32. Dan Hurley's UConn Huskies will face Oklahoma, the final game of the night at the Lenovo Center. We're going to take a break. Coming up, we'll check the scoreboard. Kentucky locked in a close one with Troy early on. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Without maintenance teams behind the scenes, everything stops. Even the game. Lights, broadcast equipment, cooling, you ensure the assets that matter most work. MaintainX was built for professionals like you. A modern maintenance app that helps manage work orders, schedule maintenance, and track inventory. So keep the madness on the court, not in your operations. Try MaintainX free at maintainx.com/MVP. That's maintain in the letter X.com/MVP.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
When you partner with CDW, your people get more out of technology. CDW data experts are simplifying complex workloads with high-speed AMD processors, which helps your project managers efficiently manage heavier workflows. Game designers level up creativity, and scientists develop their next breakthrough. Amazing, right? Make amazing happen. AMD and CDW. Learn more at cdw.com/AMD.
Lowe's knows what makes SpringFest savings even better are member-only doorbuster deals. Right now, rewards members can save $40 on an Allen & Roth Chesler Gold faucet. Was $99, now $59. Plus, save $110 on a Cobalt 40-volt battery trimmer and blower combo kit. Was $279, now $169. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 3/24 while supplies last. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
And that is why many of the greatest feats of fandom require you to be on your feet. Any questions?
Professor, NCAA men's basketball is back. Are we ready?
You prepared to show up, show out, give it 110 from tip to the final buzzer? Oh, you're ready. March Madness. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MVP tickets.
Hey, fellow Gen Xers, it's Elizabeth Banks. Big news. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the charge. After all, we gave the world the internet. We're trailblazers. Let's lead the way again because we are at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Gen X, this is our shot. Head to vaxassist.com and schedule today. That's vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Brad Heller back at the Westwood One Studios. Florida 53, Norfolk State 32 at halftime. Let's check the tournament scoreboard, sponsored by Maintain X. Maintain X is the asset and maintenance app that brings your unplanned downtime to zero. Try for free at maintainx.com/MVP. That's maintain and the letter x.com/MVP. We'll start with Kentucky and Troy, the 3-14 matchup in the Midwest, and the Trojans hanging around early.
Troy is 1 for its last 8 from the floor. Valdez frees himself, left wing 3, knocks it down. Deep one. Victor Valdez trims this deficit in half. It's 18-15 Kentucky.
Noah Eagle on the call. Kentucky's up 23-19 right now. 5 minutes to go first half in Milwaukee. Meanwhile, New Mexico off to the fast start against Marquette.
Deck comes near side. A 3 for Nolan, and he nails it from 22 feet away. Hot shooting for New Mexico. 4 of their last 4 and an 8-point lead for the Lobos.
That's Scott Graham on the call. New Mexico up 21-18 on Marquette. 8 minutes to go first half. And Arizona, a couple threes to start the game against Akron. To hear any game, the new Westwood One Sports app will have you covered. Duke, the 1 seed in the East, hammered Mount St. Mary's going wire to wire. 14 points for Cooper Flagg. The Blue Devils will take on the 9 seed Baylor on Sunday as they got by Mississippi State. Ole Miss nearly blew all of a 22-point lead. They survived against North Carolina 71-64. Next up, Iowa State. The Cyclones, a 27-point win over Lipscomb. Maryland hammered Grand Canyon 81-49, a 32-point win, largest in school history in the tournament. The Terps will get Colorado State Sunday. The Rams, the 12 over the 5 Memphis, 78-70. St. Mary's erased a 12-point second-half deficit and beat Vanderbilt 59-56. The 7 seed in the East will take on the 2 seed Alabama. The Crimson Tide 90-81 over Robert Morris. The Florida Gators 53-32 on Norfolk State halftime in Raleigh. We're going to rejoin Jason Benetti and Sarah Kustok at the Lenovo Center after this. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the men's basketball tournament.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
James Brown and Bill Cowher welcoming you back to Dennis Melvin's house. It's time for the Midnight Snack Run.
This is one turkey obstacle course. Sticking to healthy habits in this kitchen is going to take focus and determination, but it can be done, JB.
He's already entered the snack part of the course, and he's eyeballing a jar of chocolate candy.
That is tempting right off the start.
Uh-oh, he's reaching, Bill, but he pushes it away.
Great stiff arm.
He's approaching a plate of delicious-looking iced cookies.
Oh, Dennis, you only want one of those.
He blows right by him for the apple.
Oh, the fridge. It's make or break time, JB.
He stares down some rich-looking treats. Uh-oh, looks like he's headed for the soda. Wait, he jukes left, grabs the water bottle, and shuts the door with his elbow in record time.
Unbelievable move. I gotta see that again.
And he's out. He even turned off the light.
That's the way you execute a midnight snack run.
Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer.
Go to takeahealthystand.org.
Furnished by Stand Up to Cancer.
53-32, Florida the lead over Norfolk State, but an 11-0 run for the Spartans has closed the gap as we check the halftime stats, sponsored by Barbasol. Barbasol shaving cream delivers a thick lather and close, comfortable shave for half the price of gels. Why pay more for a great shave? Choose Barbasol. Florida is +8 on the glass, 22-14. The Gators 10 for 10 from the foul line. Overall, 11 for 17 from 2-point range, 7 for 19 from 3. Boy, if Norfolk State would have hit a couple more threes, who knows? They're 1 for 8 from 3, but they aren't getting to the rim downhill, as you said.
They're playing to their strength, and that's been the X factor in the question all season for Norfolk State. If they could hit threes, and that's something they have not been able to do against this Gators team. I anticipate, though, that Florida may come out a little bit more focused given the way that things finished there in the first half.
Time now for the second half keys, sponsored by Wago. Trust your game, trust your wiring with Wago Electrical Connectors. Gear up at wago.com/hoops for your next electrical project. All right. For Norfolk State, how do you keep this run going, Sarah?
Well, start with taking care of the basketball. That was an issue for them earlier, which is what helped them face that huge deficit, and they cut back into that by doing so and continue to be disruptive on the defensive side in pressuring this Florida team that had coughed it up some towards the end. And when it comes to the Gators, a big part of it is just getting back to what you do best, sharing the basketball, protecting it, and creating quality shots, doing so in a way that will allow you as well to get back in transition defense and play in half court when needed.
We'll see if they recalibrate when they come out. They are now warming up on the left side, taking some threes in the white and blue and orange. The Norfolk State band has been loud. The brass section to our right has been outstanding. And a good group of fans from about 3 hours away in the Tidewater area. They won this MEAC tournament at the Scope in downtown Norfolk. And so the Spartans have brought some fans here, trying to claw their way back into this ball game here at the Lenovo Center. In the second half will come your way very shortly. Norfolk State out of the locker room, and we'll be back for the second half of action. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
When the grass starts growing, it's time to get mowing with Steel. Whether you're shaping up a small yard or tackling serious acreage, Steel mowers are built to get the job done. Shop in-store or online for 0% financing and instant rebates on select Steel mowers. Steel, let's go mow. Available for limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
O'Reilly.
You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The Jeep Celebration event is your chance to start a brand new adventure with great deals on our legendary Go Anywhere, Do Anything SUVs, like the Grand Cherokee 4xE, our most capable Grand Cherokee ever, the Jeep Wrangler 4xE, our most capable Wrangler ever, or the Jeep Compass, our most affordable SUV. Hurry in for an exceptional offer during the Jeep Celebration event and let the adventure of a lifetime begin. Jeep is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Westwood One presents Great Moments in Tournament History.
April 3rd, 1989, Michigan and Seton Hall battle in Seattle for the national championship. Glenn Rice's 184 cumulative points set an individual tournament record. But in the final, it was Rumeal Robinson who won it for the Wolverines from the free throw line.
3 seconds left. Clock arrested. Well, Rumeal Robinson is going to try to put his team into the lead. Robinson shoots. It's good. And it's 80-79. Michigan is into the lead.
Seton Hall's last-second shot was off the mark, and Michigan, behind newly hired head coach Steve Fisher, won their first title 80-79 in overtime. With another great moment in tournament history, I'm Kevin Kugler.
(53-32), Florida by 21 at halftime. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, your home for the national championships. There's some belief bubbling up in Norfolk State as they conclude three-point shots and layup lines here at halftime. Florida missed its last 6 shots. Norfolk State made 6 of its last 7. This game turned on its head. It might be a little late, but hey, one more run like that, and then suddenly there's some game pressure on the Gators, who I would imagine had a stern talking to at halftime.
That's why it'll be interesting to see how both of these teams come out of the half. Because as you said, it wasn't just about missed shots for Florida. It was a lack of getting quality looks. And that was something that they had done throughout the entirety of this game. Not only give credit to Norfolk State and how they got downhill, got in transition, but defensively they were disruptive.
Time for the start of the second half, sponsored by Indeed.com. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed's sponsored jobs feature helps you stand out and hire fast. Start at Indeed.com/credit. Here in Raleigh, the winner of this game faces UConn or Oklahoma. Saw some of the UConn and Oklahoma coaches scouting this game, watching.
You talked to them. Said hello.
I said hello to Luke Murray, the assistant coach for UConn, Bill's son, the famous comedian. His son, Luke, is an assistant for Connecticut, a good man.
Yes.
And here we go. Second half of play. You ready to go?
Let's go. Let's do this.
60 more minutes tonight, 20 here, and then the 40 of UConn and Oklahoma, who are a very close match. As the horn goes off, Brian O'Connell will set up Elijah Martin with the basketball in mere moments. One final word from Robert Jones, the head coach at Norfolk State, to his players. And they'll lob it in for Condon through Walter Clayton Jr., who leans over the dribble into the front court between the circles, dropping it off for Condon. High-low pass and a back-cut Richard. Catches right block. Around the arc, they send it. Condon revs the engine down the left lane line. Backing in out of a double team. Mading comes over. Send it around the arc. Elijah Martin on a drive. He's met at the rim and fouled. Chris Field Jr. came over to swat him, and 2 free throws for Elijah Martin, who had 11 in the first half for Florida.
And the ball movement by Florida was forced by Norfolk State defense. Again, give them credit for the quickness of the rotations, the communication, and they've been playing a lot of different zone looks. They varied up the types of zones, but it's allowed for them to show traffic and show bodies and force extra passes by Florida.
Free throw rings around and down for Martin, 54-32. When we talked to Todd Golden, he said we wanted extra toughness. We went and got Elijah Martin for that, as the free throw is up and true. And it was hard drive from Martin that got Florida its first 2 points in the second half.
And part of it is just, too, how much he's communicating with his teammates. You see it in the leadership.
Darden on the weave, got it to Ings. He jogs by Richard, floats it up, and scores with a right hand from a couple feet away. Ings has 11. 55-34 Florida. Can they stop Norfolk State from getting downhill? On the reversal, here's Martin through the clothesline of Fields, dropping it off for Chinyalu. High post pass, Zing down low. Condon turned to the rim. His shot blocked away. It's down on the ground and claimed by Mading at the end line. Darden into the front court. Traipses to the left wing on the dribble, defended by Richard, who picks his pocket, kicks the ball to himself up the right flank, and Richard into the front court, a turnover created by Florida's guards. Condon leaves it for Clayton, running to the right lane line, steps back into a 3 in the baseline. That's too strong. Rebound down for Norfolk State and Darden. Push it ahead, outlet for Ings. Send it around the arc through Darden to the high left side. There is Brian Moore Jr., still scoreless. Their leading scorer has not had a point today with 2 early fouls. He gets to the rim. He lays it up and scores around Chinyalu. First 2 for Moore. It's a 19-point game. Florida's Clayton down the other end, puts it on the rim. Got it to drop, and a foul from the left side of the lane with the right hand. And Clayton gives Florida a little more space there, 57-36, 18-15 to play for Florida.
Clayton has taken 4 trips to the line, but that was the first 2-point shot that he has taken. It had been all threes prior to that, shooting 4 of 8 from beyond the arc. I like that he was quick in that response after the bucket by Moore.
Free throw no good, and the rebound pawed out of bounds by Condon. That finally, Sarah, broke 8 straight misses for the Gators, carrying over, bridging from the first half as Norfolk State will walk it into the front court. Christian Ings, 11 points already, the MVP of the College Insider postseason tournament last year for Norfolk State. Spartans have it more. Jimmy's his way to the left wing, out of some trouble. High on the left, trying to drive Handlogged. Wrap around pass to the baseline, somehow corralled low on the right side. Spin it out of pressure from Ings to Moore on the sideline. And we have a whistle and a foul against the Gators. It's on Richard. His second. 17:47 to go. Norfolk State hanging around, keeping contact, trailing 57-36. Inbound from under the goal to Fields. They'll whip it for Ings high on the left side in front of the Norfolk State bench. Post entry, Fields spinning, firing, right-handed window, and good over Handlogged. He changed the timing of the shot. Handlogged didn't get a chance to block it. 57-38, down low right. Condon is wrangled, fouled, and he scores with the right hand against Meding. 59-38, Florida.
Condon with his back to the basket on the right block, demanding the ball. It looked like Norfolk State thought that Florida was just going to reverse the basketball and turn it, get to the second side. And again, it was a quick pass inside to Condon, who's able to get the bucket and the foul.
Young man who grew 6 inches before his high school junior year. He is now a towering 6'11". Free throw, back iron, top of the backboard and down. Have to win a stuffed animal for that. It's 60-38, Florida with the lead. That was quite the trick. Norfolk State, 8 of its last 9 field goals have gone down. They've got the ball at the right end. Ings ships it up top. Here's a catch for Moore. Stepping back on the dribble. Clayton mirrors him. Now to Fields. He swoops through, puts it up on the tin. No good, and a rebound foul. I mean, Handlogged was handcuffed by Bladen. They kind of had each other lassoed, and a foul against Handlogged of Florida.
Give credit to Bladen. We said this early in the first half, and once again, he was on the weak side of the basket when the shot went up, continued to attack and look for that second chance shot.
Inbound low right. Fields catches and scores inside right, just slinking it through the Florida defense. It is 60-40, the Gators by 20. Pull 3, Richard. Right wing, no good. Just off the backboard, and the rebound ricochets off Norfolk State out of bounds. The photographers got an extra person in their lap. That was Darden, who decided to become like Ken Griffey Jr., an avid photog for a moment. Crashing right into the media. Inbound for Florida. Clayton surveys the scene left of the goal. And he tries to deliver it off a Norfolk State player. He does out of bounds. So 23 to shoot. Florida will reset the 5 count to inbound. Off to Condon, high post left. Wanted to fan it right for Martin. Couldn't get away from the defense, and the foul called against Moore. That's his 3rd personal out on an island against Condon, and it's really needless there for Moore. You got to imagine he's frustrated. You know, great season, 18 points a game, first team All-MEAC. Had to sit for the balance of the first half, and now he comes up with his 3rd.
Well, and part of that, too, though, is just the mindfulness of where you're at on the floor. And while Norfolk State wants to put pressure on the basketball, wants to extend this Florida offense, that's the last thing you need if you're Moore and making sure that you're available here on the floor.
So Florida basketball, steering it through. Richard now Handlogged at the summit, around the arc for Condon. Off to Martin, right of the circle. Gripping it at his knees, throwing for Clayton. 3 to shoot. Clayton head up, leans in, and gets fouled on a 3. It's Moore. It's his 4th, right of the circle. 0.1 remaining on the shot clock. And Clayton just baiting hooks all night long here in Raleigh.
Second time that Clayton has got fouled on a 3-point shot because he's so patient with his shot fake. Puts it up in the air, and he gets Moore to just fly above him, easy than going into his shot motion, knowing that he'll pick up this look.
First of three for Clayton. It's on the way, and it is true. It rips the net for Walter Clayton Jr. Hey, download the brand new Westwood One Sports app and catch every minute of the men's and women's NCAA tournament anytime, anywhere. Don't be left out. Get the Westwood One Sports app today. Second foul shot is good. 62-40, Florida the lead. 16:27 to go in this first round matchup between a 1 seed and a 16. Moore checks out of the game. Free throw crawls over the rim and through for Clayton. He's 3 for 3 on that trip. And Norfolk State going to the bench with Terrence Jones once again for Moore. They swap out guards. Between the legs dribble for Ings, roaming to the right off the Bladen screen. Hook a pass top of the key. Jones a drive right down the boulevard. His shot altered by Handlogen. Offensive rebound. Fields puts it on the 10. That glances off. Third chance is up off the window for him and through. It's 63-42. Fields persistent.
It's been all in on the offensive glass for Norfolk State. You got multiple green jerseys continuing to attack anytime the shot comes up.
9 offensive rebounds against Florida. A tough rebounding outfit. Condon, top of the key, snaps off the 3, and cash is in. All cord for Alex Condon from the top of the circle at 66-42. Gators leading Norfolk State. The Spartans on the basketball. Ings two-hand pass for Bladen, who turns his back, now goes side saddle, puts it off the shoe of a teammate. He scoops it off the ground. He finds a driving Darden, and his floater is true. All net for Jaylani Darden, and Robert Jones calls a timeout at 66-44. Timeout on the court sponsored by Progressive Insurance. You could save big when you bundle your auto, home, motorcycle, RV, or boat. Visit progressive.com. Florida 66, Norfolk State 44, 15-20 to go from the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network. This is the men's basketball tournament.
A dog? I'm not. I was born for a purpose. To bring you hope. To guide you out of darkness. To stand by you as you rediscover life. When past battles cloud your mind, I push them away. You tell me I'm your hero, just as you are mine. You hold me when you're afraid, whisper that I saved you. With me by your side, no challenge is too great, no night too dark. I'm your guide, your companion, your friend. Your light. A dog? I'm not. With me, you see the world again.
Discover hope at Dogs Inc. Visit us at dogsinc.org to learn more.
The mission of Paralyzed Veterans of America is clear. Accessibility. Veterans who have served and sacrificed the best of themselves deserve access to the best our country has to offer. Access to meaningful employment. Access to the veterans' benefits they've earned. Accessible homes and vehicles. And access to every part of their communities. With PVA staff working inside VA hospitals, no other veterans organization has provided more real-time, ongoing support for paralyzed veterans and their families. PVA is proud to serve veterans across all branches, all generations, and all conflicts. Our nation's heroes fought for your independence. Join PVA in fighting for theirs at pva.org.
Jason Benetti, Sarah Kustok here at our Granger broadcast position in Raleigh. For the ones who get it done, there's Granger, offering professional-grade products for all industries, fast delivery, and free technical support. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. 66-44, Florida with the lead over Norfolk State. 15-20 to go. Half number 2, the Gators out of halftime, have 13 points, but Norfolk State hanging around. They've only given away 1 point after the break.
And a big part of that has been crashing the offensive glass, getting some second chance looks, and Florida hasn't looked as sharp on the offensive side. Even some of the shots they've gotten off have not given them as much space.
In transition here, Hauk veers to the left and finds Martin at the perimeter. Refeed Hauk, who thought about the three for a brief moment, now walks it all the way to hand it off for Aberdeen, who gets jostled and gets it right back from Handlogden. Left corner, touch up top for Hauk, just left to center, tries to pull down the lane and face plants. He got shoved down to the ground by Norfolk State and Fields, and Hauk has to spatula himself up off the floor. And with that, we will step aside. Again, this is the double up sight of the century. We have no break forever, and then we have two all in one space. Hope you enjoy it. Time out of the court, the score, Florida 66, Norfolk State 44, 14:59 to go. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I need new rotors.
When you buy 2 Duralast rotors during our spring sale, you get Duralast brake pads free.
Free?
With the rotors.
Well, that's great. What if I need extra stopping power?
You can upgrade to Duralast Gold pads for just $10.
So Duralast pads are free.
Yep,
And an upgrade is just $10?
that's right. Part of the spring sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With Marriott Bonvoy, take your game day rituals on the road. No matter how you show your team spirit, find a stay for your style when you explore our entire world of hotel brands and experiences. Marriott Bonvoy has a brand for every kind of fan. Marriott Bonvoy, official hotel partner of the NCAA. Explore more at marriottbonvoy.com/NCAA.
Surprise! Your expenses this month were way higher than you expected. Also, you forgot to renew your website domain, and now you're in a bidding war.
You should see the look on your face.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Plus, the fridge died in the break room, and now everything smells weird. All right.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Let's check the schedule of tournament games coming up on Westwood One, sponsored by the 2027 X15 engine from Cummins, featuring better fuel efficiency, immense power, and backed by 25-plus years of experience. The 2027 X15 is built to rise above the challenges of tomorrow. The X15, forever rising. Winner of this game, Florida leading 66-44 over Norfolk State, gets the winner of UConn, Oklahoma. An 8-9 game coming up about half an hour after this game, and we'll see who in that pretty closely contested game, we'd imagine, gets the better of each other. The two-time defending champs, UConn, involved. Here's Micah Handlogden shipping it around the arc. Hauk on a back cut. It is Clayton on the catch and dive in for two with a right hand. Clayton makes it a 24-point game.
Movement off the basketball and a backdoor cut from the right wing. That's much more of the Florida offense that we're accustomed to seeing.
Just snuck it on through. Those post players are such good passers. Fields probing to the foul line. He's met by a bear hug of Handlogden. They'll start the engine again down the lane, and Handlogden gets called for a foul that was as touchy of a touch foul as we've had the entire day at this site. Handlogden had his legs outstretched and his palms up as if to say, aye. Is that a good paraphrase?
That's a good paraphrase.
That's his third personal on the inbound coming from Darden, trying to swing it in to Ings. They couldn't get it there. They'll whip it mid-lane, and a rise and fire for Fields gets him two in the center of the paint, and it's 68-46. Norfolk State trading punches with Florida.
The thing about Norfolk State is what they want to do is get in the paint. They want to get around the basket. They've been able to do that against Florida. They have not been forced to take a lot of three-point looks because they've been quick in cutting through the defense.
None in the second half. Florida basketball. Hauk thought about a three, bracing for it right of the circle. He'll find Clayton, sweep it back through. Hauk, top of the key, hand-logged and wants to turn it right, has to sway through the defense. His pass deflected to Hauk, his three, top of the key, no good. Rebound, Bladen put it on his own rim and then got called for a foul as he was entangled with Elijah Martin. That was an unfortunate run for the bearded Bladen.
Mostly because Florida was entirely disjointed on the offensive side. Hauk had to just toss up a shot to get it off, and it was the tenacity around the glass of Florida, and especially Elijah Martin, to come up with this second chance opportunity.
And now here's the scary part. Florida is already in the single bonus. That's foul number 7. Now the Gators are 201st in the country in free throw percentage, just under 72%. Martin is slightly above that as he takes aim on the first shot, and it's no good. Front iron, one-arm rebound for Handlogden, and he'll serve it back for Martin. Up top, Hauk casts off a three left of the circle that hits air. Handlogden sways it back in, and then they rip it into the backcourt, and it goes rolling all the way to Chapel Hill or so. It's out of bounds. Norfolk State will have it at 13:28 to go. Is that the right direction?
I'm out of directions here inside the
We've been inside forever.
However, Florida just can't seem to get things going fluidly on the offensive side.
Our statistician, Tim Bickford, has his phone compass out, which is a great fact check. Fantastic. Thanks, Tim. Here is Jones down the lane, dropping it off low on the right. Bladen trying to power dribble. It spun away from him. He regathers low on the right. He's met by the hand-locked-in Wall, who knocks the ball free. 4 to shoot. Outside right Ings, 2 to shoot. He'll spray a 3 right wing. That grazes front iron. Offensive rebound played back to Darden. Nicely done by Myers to set it up for Norfolk State. 7 minutes into the second half. They are hanging around in a big way. It is 68-46, but Norfolk State has not given away anything in the second half. Top of the key drive to the foul line. That pull is good. It swirls down for Myers and Norfolk State. 68-48. Florida into the front court. Aberdeen gets down the lane, puts it on the rim. It sinks through for 2 and a foul. He just went crashing in like two cymbals. He was one of them, and Norfolk State was the other. It's 70-48.
And a big part of that, too, was almost running a break there. Martin at the half-court mark just passes it right back to him. It begins with a stop, and that's what Florida hasn't gotten a lot of, is stops against this Norfolk State team that have lended themselves to running and getting it going in transition.
And that could be a real problem if they face UConn. That is as surgical and layered of an offense as you'll see in the country. As the foul shot is good for Aberdeen. It is 71-48 Florida with the lead. But UConn makes you really work on the defensive end. Second side, third side, a lot of sets. Interesting matchup if indeed that happens. And the other interesting piece is if Oklahoma wins, it's a conference game. So they know each other. Darden moves to the top of the key. Hesitation dribble, running right into Aberdeen, mid-post left. Spin it out high on the left side. Ings a drive. He challenges the rim, and he puts it up and through. He went right by Condon and the outstretched arm. 71-50. They opened the gate, and he scored. Florida by 21. Here's Klaujar ripping through. Pass right of the circle. Hauk for 3. No good. Rebound Jones. There was nobody in the zip code, and he missed it. Drive for Jones. Klaujar on his hip. Jones rides it into the lane and threw it through the arms of Meding. He is so frustrated. That ball was right there waiting to be put in on the left side doorstep. Instead, the basketball ghosted him. Not a fate you want to see on a Friday night. Timeout on the court. The score, Gators 71, Norfolk State 50. 11:52 to play. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. With Indeed Sponsored Jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for relevant candidates so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, with Indeed Sponsored Jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, and you only pay for results. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
O'Reilly. You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
To win in basketball takes a can-do spirit. So shave with Barbasol and inspire your team. Raise that red, white, and blue can and yell, "We can do this." If it doesn't work, you still got a great shave. Barbasol, it's a can of can-do.
Your life, your goals, your legacy. With a dedicated Fidelity advisor, it's all part of a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE, SIPC.
Download the official NCAA March Madness Live app, and you can listen to every Westwood One broadcast of the men's and women's basketball tournament for free. Just look for the headphones icon on any live game. And if you're in the car, it seamlessly integrates with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Get the official NCAA March Madness Live app today. I wish you all out in Radio Land had a partner like Sarah Kustok who mimes all of your movements while you're doing the live read advertisement. It's endearing, it's charming, and it really gets me excited to close out our session.
Here for you, partner. Whatever you need.
I love it.
You need me to do some reading for you?
Thank you. Yeah, that's fine. Literacy, not my strong suit. Florida basketball, tuck it into the post. Richard finds a low left side for Condon. He works mid-lane, fires and misses on the doorstep. Rebound tipped out for Aberdeen, 20 to shoot. Cloudjar ducking into the lane. Kick out Condon, sets his feet, rifles a three. No. Follow for Houck, and he's going to the free throw line. It missed. But he did push his way through, kind of urge his way into the lane, and 2 free throws coming for Thomas Houck.
Houck gets himself to the free throw line, but yet again, these Florida possessions, they're having to work hard for clean looks, and they've been contested, whether on the inside or that look from Houck, the three-point shot on the outside that you're coming up with an offensive rebound. What Norfolk State has done on both ends of the floor has been really impressive just in how they've battled.
First free throw around and out for Houck. This was a 24-5 lead for the Gators early in this game. Since then, it's a 47-45 score. Norfolk State is shooting 50% for the game from the floor. Houck bends the knees, extends the arms. The free throw is good, 72-50. But that's alarming for the Gators here, defensively.
Yes. And those are the things where, granted, they still have a 22-point lead, but that you want to be cleaner and you want to be more refined at this point.
Especially if you're thinking title. High on the left side, zing it low left. It's a cut, UCLA cut for Darden. He scores inside left, right down the lane boundary. It's a 20-point game again, 72-52.
Norfolk State head coach Robert Jones has dialed up some really excellent play calling and sets that allowed them clean looks at the rim.
Cloudjar back cut, tries to drop it off midair. It's another turnover. Left to right, Norfolk State. Ings zipping into the front court, mid lane. Kick left side, little juggle. Jones a drive, tries to scoop a pass, gets it pushed back in his face by a teammate. Where he picks it up, he's met by Cloudjar. Up top, Ings right at the center line, 12 to shoot for Norfolk State, trailing by 20. Spartans hanging around in this ball game. Here's Myers at the top of the key. Now a collision between Ings and Aberdeen, and Brian O'Connell blows the whistle on the second contact. It goes against Denzel Aberdeen, and Florida still not in the bonus defensively yet. 10:22 to go in the ball game. The lead is 20. The shot clock is 20 as Chinyelu checks in for Houck. So Ruben Chinyelu has been on the bench with 2 fouls for the balance of this second half, not because of the foul trouble. He just has not been in the game. As they'll cycle it around the arc for Jones, high on the left side. Shove it to Ings. Aberdeen reaching in on him. Some contact, no whistle. Up top, Darden, a foot fake. Dribbles to the elbow. Kills the dribble. Finds the right side. Myers, jumper wide right of the lane. Clangs off the backboard. A sharp bounce down to the ground. And Florida basketball coming right to left. Aberdeen arches a pass up. Caught by Condon. Mid-post on the left. Trying to back in. Through the lane, reverses to the right hand. His shot blocked away. Myers, good staunch defense for Norfolk State. 9:40 to go. This has been a stalemate since the big Florida lead early. They have not created the separation Duke did in game number 2. Top of the key, Myers tosses right side through Mading to Darden, who shimmies to the right short corner. His jumper is good. He got by Richard for 2. This is the closest it's been since 29-11, 72-54, 9:16 to go.
Norfolk State looks confident, and they're getting to spots on the floor that they've been effective.
Aberdeen just threw a defender out of the way. Richard driving kick. Condon sets. Guns for 3. Top of the key. He banked it in. That's what Florida needs in this game. Condon rifles it off the window, and it sits down 75-54. Wow.
Robert Jones reacted in a way like, you have got to be kidding me.
That was just cannon fire. Here's a driving kick. Mading down low is fouled. He's wrapped on the arm, and 2 free throws for Kuwel Mading on the Richard foul. So Richard called for his third, and 2 free throws coming. 75-54. I'll tell you what, if that 3 doesn't go down and Norfolk State scores again, if this closes to even within 15, Florida's going to feel it. They might feel it right now.
It seems like they feel it right now. Even the shot, I mean, the fact that Condon, a 33% three-point shooter, is banking in a wide open look from the top of the key, it's showing you that Florida has not been feeling the same type of comfort in the shots they're getting, the looks they're getting, and give credit again to Norfolk State for how they're challenging both around the basket, but also able to run Florida off the three-point line.
Patrick Clayton Jr. just 7 second-half points. Mading's free throw is up and through, so he goes 1 for 2, 75-55, 20-point lead once again. Norfolk State 6 for 8 from the line. Clayton directing traffic with the left hand outstretched. Off to Condon, who wants to drop it off for Richard, and he is fouled. He was hugged by Darden, and Richard will go to the free throw line, an 81% foul shooter. Hit on the perimeter. So Richard at the foul line. One of the most efficient offensive players in the SEC and in the country. Free throw is up, and it swirls down. Florida by 21. Be a VIP at the men's Final Four in San Antonio at the NCAA Experience. Official ticket and hospitality packages. Official NCAA hospitality includes live entertainment, upscale food stations and beverages, appearances by NCAA legends, and much more. To be a VIP at the men's Final Four in San Antonio, visit ncaa.com/VIP. Second free throw, no good. The ball ricocheted out of bounds, and Norfolk State will inbound it, trailing by 21, 76-55. As Bladen checks in, Kuwel Mading checks out of the game. Bladen's been really active in this game so far. He's got 5 points. He also has 4 personal fouls. Into the front court, Jones breaks it down and slings it between the circles for Ings. He's marked by Clayton, who hops into his stance, making Richard on the defense. Now Martin crowding out Fields. Here's a handoff for Ings, high on the left side. Here's Darden, rotating all the way to the right wing. He'll shove it hard into the belly on the right baseline for Jones, driving on Clayton, walled off there nicely, and the wraparound pass trickles out of bounds. That was all Clayton putting up the barricade defensively.
And a part of that, too, is just the traffic around the basket and the paint. Florida needs to do more of that with how much Norfolk State has been penetrating.
Timeout on the court. The score, Florida 76, Norfolk State 55. 8 minutes to play from Raleigh. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
After battling through the brackets, one team gets the chance to climb the iconic Warner ladder. The final net cutting is the culmination of all the hard work and effort it took to reach this moment. And getting here puts these players and coaches in rare air. It's the same for all the trade professionals working from 20 feet to 20 stories. Every day they challenge themselves to conquer new heights. And Warner is the brand they trust to have their backs. Warner, the #1 pro ladder and official ladder of NCAA March Madness.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Tomorrow's road, unpaved, unmapped, uncertain. But it's also where we discover what we can truly count on, like the 2027 X15 engine by Cummins. With better fuel efficiency, up to 605 horsepower, and 2,050 pound-feet of torque. The X15 is a bedrock of reliability that stands forever ready to rise to the occasion. The 2027 X15, forever rising. Estimates based on preliminary testing. Individual results may vary.
Here at our Grainger courtside seats in Raleigh, stay on top of your game with Grainger. Get the industrial-grade products right when you need them to help your business move forward when you call 1-800-GRAINGER or click Grainger.com. Your score, Florida 76, Norfolk State 55 in a 116 matchup. Winner out of the West region gets either Connecticut or Oklahoma in our second game that's scheduled to start around 9:25 Eastern time. The Gators just can't quit Norfolk State right now. Sarah?
Oh, and it's been impressive because Norfolk State came out of the second half, and they were the ones that actually set the tone. It's been challenging shots for Florida. They have not converted at a high rate, but also Norfolk State's getting to where they want to go to on the floor. And so for Florida, they have hopes not only for tonight, but just big picture. They need to be a little bit cleaner in how they're taking care of things and executing on both sides.
They're facing a Norfolk State team that has beaten a couple of tournament teams this year. They won at High Point, the group that lost to Purdue yesterday in Providence, and also beat Alabama State, the team that had that baseball pass for essentially a touchdown to win in Dayton on the first night of the NCAA tournament. Condon extracts himself from pressure. They'll send it around the arc. Low pass. Clayton shot pick. Gets a flyby. Guns a three. That hits the bracket. Offensive rebound crawled out of Condon's hand and a foul called as Richard elevated, but he'll go to the free throw line. The double bonus has been activated for a while. 7:42 to go.
Trap on every pass by Norfolk State off that possession. So Florida was able to pass out of it and get a three-point look on the weak side wing for Clayton, but it was a rush shot.
Which he has not been rushed a whole lot tonight. Richard at the foul line. He springs for the first one, and that rolls through. Front iron and down for Will Richard. In his third season at Florida after transferring from Belmont. He was a tremendous three-point shooter there and here with the Gators. Second foul shot is true. Straight on through for Richard. It is Florida by 23, 78-55. Token pressure for the Gators in the backcourt. They'll get ahead and run right into the front court and run directly into the Gator defense. Moore back on the floor trying to drive. Reverse layup is up and in. Brian Moore Jr. did not score in the first half. Saddled with foul trouble all night. He's got a pair of makes.
And he blows past two Gator defenders that were just standing.
And now Clayton's pass, kind of lazy, intercepted right out of his hands by Garden. On the hit ahead, a meeting at the rim. Shot blocked by Condon, and we have a foul. Ings went right into the teeth of Condon, and he repelled that thing, a boomerang from the kid from Perth. Nearly needed some dental work there. Ings and Condon crashing into one another. Inbound will come for Norfolk State with 7:07 to go.
Norfolk State just playing with more energy, more sense of purpose. There's an added level of quickness that they have been attacking.
A little bit of sort of a sleepwalking nature as Richard falls. Here's a drive for Moore. Mid-lane twisting runner. Won't sit down for him, and the rebound Florida. Trying in transition. Clayton hops into a dribble. Through Condon. Left side Richard. Trying to slash toward the rim. Instead, he's closed off. Here is Condon. Hand off top of the key. Martin springs for three. That's no good. Rebound both Chinyelu and Condon. Condon wrestles it free, and he gets ripped and fouled as he tries to elevate low on the right with 6:36 to go. Florida is just too tall down there to deal with. Another offensive rebound. That's number 18 in the game.
Norfolk State is willing to take some risks, though, and when they're double teaming, how they're collapsing, they understand they need to bring a ton of pressure wherever the ball goes, and it's benefited them because Florida's not moving the ball as quickly as we saw early on in this one.
It's sticking a little bit. Free throw for Condon, front iron. It does crawl down to make it 79-57. Get good at money so you can be a little bad. Invest well at empower.com. Condon, whose father was an Australian rules football player, his mom a swimmer, he ends up a basketball player. At the left end, his free throw is arched up and too strong. Rebound batted out to Florida. 19 offensive rebounds. Clayton didn't take the three. On a drive, Martin a right-handed flush with venom for Elijah Martin down the baseline. 81-57 Florida.
He had a clean lane to the basket because Chinyelu set a nice screen underneath to clear the space.
Nobody home for Norfolk State, as you said, and Florida with a little energy and emotion now. Fields kick out. Darden sets his feet, fires left of the circle. No dice. Condon over the top trying for the rebound. It's off his hand, and it will go to Norfolk State. It's 6:04 in the second half in our first game of the night session. Condon's coming out. Chinyelu is out as well. Handlogden is back in, and Hauk, that second line of forwards, which is a luxury for Todd Golden.
You see the size across the board, but everyone has different strengths here for this Florida team. What you want to make sure you do is continue to show that type of size on the inside and how you're rebounding.
Moore launches a three left wing. That's a springy bounce off the back iron, and the rebound down for Florida. Galloping right to left. Clayton between the legs dribble, races left lane line, stops, leans, and got flees to the ball. Taken by Darden. Bladen with the takeaway for Norfolk State, coming left to right. Here is Ings spinning on the dribble, little ballet dribble, 5:35 to go. 81-57, Florida with the lead. Ings working the dribble hard, switching to the left hand. Fields swooping right lane line, closed off, and he puts it up and in anyway. Clayton, good staunch defense, but two for Fields.
Fields has got size over Clayton, and he's able to go right through the body. 6'7" versus 6'3".
This is a pretty aggressive downhill driving team, as you said, and maybe some notes here for future Gator opponents. Clayton slings it for Hauk. Couple of footballs down the right lane line. Kick it out. Richard left of the circle. Kills the dribble. Whips it over his head, and a whistle and a foul. It goes against Jones in the corner. Trying to hug Martin with the body, and two free throws for Elijah Martin on the way.
And the surprising part is that Norfolk State has shot so poorly from three, just 1 of 11. So they've shot at a very low volume. They've barely made, they've made one. This is typical for how they play, yet they're still able to get to the basket. And normally you can pack the paint and make sure that you congest the inside when a team is that inefficient from the three-point line and do not want to take those shots. But Florida has not been able to do that against the Spartans team.
First free throw good. Second one is cash as well, 83-59. And they're playing with belief, certainly, even though they're down big. And we were talking to Robert Jones, the head coach for Norfolk State, about that game against Mizzou 13 years ago. He said they knew at halftime that something special might happen. He felt the belief in that locker room, and they came out of this halftime. If this were a close game, they'd be right with Florida. They hung around. The lead was just insurmountable early, and we got a foul hip to hip. Richard fouls Jones for the Gators, and so That's number 7 against Florida and a 1-1 for Terrence Jones.
And part of it, whether you want to admit it or not, there is an added level of comfort when you're a team in Florida that jumped out to that significant of a lead. You're still playing here with a cushion that is going to be extremely challenging for Norfolk State to overcome.
And it's about maintaining that level of focus because, as we saw yesterday, Gonzaga goes up 27-3 on Georgia as this free throw is down for Jones. And suddenly Georgia comes back. You get a big lead early in an NCAA tournament game. That is not as put in the safe as you think. 83-60, Florida the lead. Jones spying the right side goal. Transfer from Eastern Wyoming College. Knocks down the free throw, 83-61. Aberdeen bluffs a pass left and now serves it up high for Handlogden, who is likely going to be the high man at any chance. Here is Aberdeen into the front court, slinging it through Handlogden. Hauck dive down the right lane line. He'll go to the free throw line as he clanged off a couple of bodies down there for Norfolk State. Thomas Hauck will go to the stripe. Florida is 24 of 29 from the free throw line. Hauck's grandfather played for the Baltimore Colts back in the day. His grandfather, Mike, before they got in that moving van and left for Indianapolis. Out to the free throw line, 83-61 Gators. 81% foul shooter. A couple of dribbles. He bends the knees, and his shot is short. This has just got to drive Todd Golden up the wall, not being able to close out this game. They came into this tournament with such momentum. They steamrolled the SEC tournament, and now they just cannot put this game away as a free throw is good. It's probably a foregone conclusion, but they've been hovering here. Moore breaking toward the lane for Norfolk State, tries to spin baseline. Good use of the chest by Clayton to ward him off and throw it outside right for Ings, who will circle back to the logo. Halfway through the shot clock, Ings head up on the dribble, defended by Aberdeen. Leave it for Meding and the high post handoff. Getting it low on the right field. His shot blocked away by Hauck. Off to the right side, keeping it in play. Aberdeen allowed for Hauck. He spins to catch it. Drop it for Handlogden inside left, and he scores. Florida did not go for the sweet Georgia Brown there. Instead, they were a little bit more comfortable with the ball.
Well, I think they may have been trying to go for the sweet Georgia Brown, but the pass was just a little too far over the top for Hauck. He still was able to make something of it and convert for the two.
Florida 86-61 now. It's a three left side around and out for Jones for Norfolk State. The rebound for Florida, trotting into the front court, kind of gliding to the finish line here in this 116 matchup. Winner gets Oklahoma or Connecticut as Hauck pivots to the right, reversing it through Clayton, short corner right. He whips it off the hand of Aberdeen, who picks it up and sends it around the arc again to Richard. He gets his feet set, casts off a three, and splashes it down. 89-61. Will Richard was tired of this hanging around stuff. 3:10 to go. 28-point game. Norfolk State with Ings hooking a pass on the overplay. A drive for Moore down the lane line. His shot does squat in for two, and it's 89-63. We get a timeout called by Robert Jones of Norfolk State. A lot of fight in this Norfolk State Spartans team. Timeout on the court. The score, Florida 89, Norfolk State 63 in green and gold. 2:59 to play in Raleigh. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC, cleaning, and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Without maintenance teams behind the scenes, everything stops. Even the game. Lights, broadcast equipment, cooling, you ensure the assets that matter most work. MaintainX was built for professionals like you. A modern maintenance app that helps manage work orders, schedule maintenance, and track inventory. So keep the madness on the court, not in your operations. Try MaintainX free at maintainx.com/MVP. That's maintain in the letter x.com/MVP.
Ball above all. Am I right, y'all? Any questions?
Professor, NCAA Division I women's basketball is back. Are we ready?
You prepared to get loud? Rep your squad? Get your players hyped up to go all the way to the ship? Oh, you're ready. March Madness. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/WBB tickets.
Let's check the attendance, sponsored by Uber Eats. Uber Eats is delivering game day deals from hundreds of your local favorites all week. Order now on Uber Eats. Product availability varies by region. See app for details. There are 19,180 in attendance here in Raleigh for the evening session. UConn and Oklahoma is game number 2 as the Gators aren't exactly speeding in the left lane to the finish here, but they played very well out of the gate, and we saw glimpses of why people think them to be a possible favorite to win this. But where are you on Florida right now with what we've seen?
Well, I think we're tough in our judgment on them, given the fact they have a 26-point lead, and we're feeling a little bit disappointed. I do think it's, one, the expectations of how they played all season and how they played through the SEC tournament, and two, give credit to Norfolk State. They did not lay down after getting down early. They've continued to fight, and they're a challenging team because of their athleticism and getting to the basket, pressuring the basketball. Florida has just looked more disjointed on offense than I think we've seen in quite some time.
They haven't shot it well from 3 either, as Aberdeen steps on the sideline in the left corner. So there's disjointed again.
Just little things like that in areas that absolutely you would anticipate would be cleaned up. And first game of the NCAA tournament, you're getting your feet wet, you're getting settled in, and again, still a significant lead. I think just given the way this game started with a dominant lead and the shot making from 3, you expected this lead to have ballooned a little bit more.
As you say that, Aberdeen just drops his shoulder into Ings, who's driving, trailing by 26. Aberdeen's a very strong defensive player. There's no reason to do that, right?
And those are some of, it's not just missing shots, but some of the mental areas. So the areas that you just need to be sharper in understanding. And it allows you a sense of comfort, or maybe some of those mental lapses aren't as magnified when you do have this significant of a lead. However, you want to make sure that these situations don't occur when a game is tighter and the time to score is much more significant.
You got to win 6 of them in this tournament. Second free throw misses. The first one was good from Christian Ings, who goes by Agent Zero. 89-64, Florida with the lead by 25. Flipping ahead for Cloudjar, who has to wrestle himself away from the double team. He rolls it to Aberdeen, who zips it ahead for Hauk. He staggers down the lane, scoops it up. No, but a foul. I think Thomas Hauk gets to the free throw line at breakfast at home. He's just always looking for contact.
I'm impressed, too. There's been a handful of these buckets that have got him to the line that are right there rolling out of the rim that normally would turn into and ones. You could see some of the frustration on his face, too.
First free throw is good. Florida has 90 points. Tonight's broadcast of the 2025 NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the NCAA and Westwood One is strictly prohibited. Free throw good from Hauk. He goes 2 for 2, and the Gators lead 91-64. Isaiah Brown is in off the bench for the Gators to get a little burn late in the game. 2:14 to go. Ings into the front court. He'll aim his body left, high on the left side, screen from Meding, dribbling with the right hand, bowling down the lane. Ings hanging in the air, his shot no good, and the rebound deflected away from Handlogden, taken by Ings. He goes up and gets smacked from behind by either Hauk or Handlogden. And if there was snow on the ground, Ings would be a snow angel right now. He's just going to splayed out on the ground inside left, but he is battling and clawing in to get a steal there. It was Brown and Handlogden in the area. The foul on Isaiah Brown. Ings having to walk it off. His hands on his hips like he's calling an offsides penalty. It might feel like he just played a football game. He got clobbered.
This has been a physical game, and officials have allowed them to play, but you've seen it around the basket. You've seen it on the defensive side. Bodies in pressure has been felt, and you appreciate that because that's an aspect of how both teams play.
Free throw good for Ings, all net. He's a grad student, transfer from Rider. Fourth year at Norfolk State, 2 at Rider. Final game here. Second foul shot is there for Ings. 91-66, Florida with the lead. Duke was a winner in a 116 earlier here. Baylor got by Mississippi State 75-72. And our final game coming up shortly, UConn and Oklahoma. Urban Klaujar dribbling through pressure. The Slovenian hooks a pass low on the left. Oh, my goodness. Brown crashed right into Hauk, who has to clean up the mess. Goes behind the back on a pass. Got it to Brown, right wing three. Back iron, no, sir. Rebound, Handlogden over everybody. He finds a swooping Brown, who spikes it home with 2 hands. And that's a look at what the Gators can do above the rim, 93-66.
Yet began the possession with a collision of 2 Gators. If that doesn't tell the story in some capacity about tonight, I don't know what does.
Now a 3 from up top. That swirls down for Myers and Norfolk State. Get a little before they hit the road, 93-69. You're right, though. It was disjointed to start that possession. The 2 Gators ramming into one another. Aberdeen from the top of the circle, walks it to the right, bounces the pass for Hauk, who slings it right. Klaujar springs for 3, right wing, that clangs off the iron, rebound, Handlogden off to Hauk, driving the boulevard to scoop it up and in. Some energy from the Gators at the tail end of this game, 95-69, under a minute to go. And a timeout call to substitute for Norfolk State, trying to get a couple of guys some run in the NCAA tournament. Jordan Leaks checks into the ball game wearing number 20 for Norfolk State, and the Gators are going to go deep to the bench, including Bennett Anderson, who had the final points Saturday night against Alabama in the SEC tournament to give them the record for scoring in an SEC tournament game. Some hugs on the Norfolk State bench. And the inbound pass floated up for Travane Kamara, who checks into the ball game. The sophomore from Paris. Aberdeen knocks it away into the backcourt. Recaptured by Leaks for Norfolk State. He jumps a feed mid-lane. Shot up no good for Myers. His follow ends up trickling over the end line. It'll stay with Norfolk State. 33.1 to go. Please fight the urge to review this, is what everybody's saying in the building. 95-69, Florida the lead. And the inbound pass from Leaks to the left of the goal. He'll throw it in the corner. 3 hoisted up, no good off the hand of Norfolk State and Myers. Here's a lob up for 2 for Leaks, no good. Rebound for Bennett Anderson in gridlock for Florida. He'll double it back in the backcourt. 15 seconds to go. Anderson will have control of it, as Florida did for the entire game. They broke out to a 16-2 lead, and the Gators do finish off an NCAA tournament opening win over Norfolk State, 95-69 in Raleigh.
For Florida, it may not have been as smooth, pretty, and easy as you would have anticipated, especially given the way the game started, pouring in 3-point shots and pouring on the pressure. However, still walking away with a 26-point win and doing so in a fashion that allows them to advance to that second round and see who they will meet after the second game of this evening's session is something that you look forward to for this team that has hopes of contending for the national title.
It could be the two-time defending champs to face the last team to go back-to-back with national titles, the Florida Gators 2006, 2007, including over on that sideline, the assistant coach, Torian Green, who was part of that for the Gators back in the aughts, as they say. But Florida, 95-69, the final score over Norfolk State. They get 4 guys in double figures, including Walter Clayton Jr., who sunk 23, the balance of that in the first half. But Florida, the SEC tournament champions, out-rebounded Norfolk State by 13. Grand total of 12 turnovers for both teams. But credit Norfolk State for clinging to life in this game after going down big early. And Tyrell Bladen and his head coach, Robert Jones, go over to the Norfolk State fans to give them a thank you. They use their hands to signal, like, hey, we appreciate you. They heard them all night. It was a very loud fan base for a 16 seed here, well attended, as the Gators do finish off Norfolk State with a game effort in the second half for the Spartans. We are joined by Elijah Martin here courtside, 17 points. Hey, when you guys are going well, what is going right? Like in the first half when you got out to that lead, what went best?
We got a bunch of stops, and we got in transition, and that led us to easy basket for us. So it wasn't too much of that second half, but, we're going to get back to it next game.
When you think about that second half, what was some of the most challenging parts that allowed it to be a fight and be a battle despite the big lead?
Just fighting complacency. We was up a lot, and we kept looking at the scoreboard. You look at the scoreboard, then you get comfortable and stuff. So we just got to be able to be mentally strong no matter who we're playing or what the score is, and do what Gator basketball is all about.
What was the conversation like at halftime?
We were mad because they went on 11-0 run at the end of the half, and you just can't give those teams you can't give any team any hope, in March Madness. So we was really mad about that, but we came out and hit him in the mouth in the beginning of the second half, and we was able to pull out with a win.
And Elijah, you come to this team, Todd Golden talked about the toughness that you bring, the maturity that you bring. What do you tell your team now moving on to Sunday?
Just one game at a time, stop looking at 6 games, just one game at a time, and don't take nobody lightly, because you can get bounced any night. Knock on wood.
Last thing as we let you go here, what did you learn from your tournament time at FAU about what matters most in this tournament?
I say just having fun, not getting too nervous or not getting, outside yourself with all the cameras and stuff. And just keep doing what you're doing no matter what stage you're at. And the reason why you got here is the reason why you can finish.
Go have fun.
Yes, sir.
Elijah Martin for the Florida Gators, kind enough to join us here courtside with 17 points in the ballgame, as Florida does finish off Norfolk State 95-69. Let's check some of the stats sponsored by Intuit TurboTax. Now, Taxes is getting a TurboTax live expert to do your taxes for you. Now this is Taxes. Florida goes 27 for 33 from the foul line of the game, 21 offensive rebounds, 24 second chance points. That's a lot of second chances in life for the Gators here tonight. And overall, tied in fast break points. Norfolk State, 48 points in the paint. Florida's going to have to iron that out, no matter if it's Oklahoma